had adopted in that meeting carried a real risk that an email or a letter would be written to the Minister or the Chief of Staff referring to your role as a member of the Minister's office in this whole event. What's all that?
Thanks for your attitude.
I wish to show you one example that I don't think we need to address it, but yes, there is. But I don't think we dare question the risk. It's just because I don't think we dare question the letter.
You had some sense that there wouldn't be serious consequences in the Minister's office if such a thing was.
The risk is not will really it's not that where we are sitting there was no way. That stage arise did have to pay that together with all the
Chief of Staff and the Minister had email addresses that you could access online.
you may say that on social media, but as I said, we should have what
In the meeting, you see, I want to look back at the chronology, what was exchanged between you and the Minister, and then come back to this risk and assess it in that. That chronology, and we only have 3 signal chats to work with, but what those 3 signal chats show is that when you told the Minister on the 23rd of December there was I put it to you that that breakthrough related to possible hyperluminescence of PKT team. He phoned you back twice on that day. And he texted you the next day to find out if the arrest had been effected. And then later in December, you sent a screenshot about a constitutional court judgment where you told the minister to charge General Khumalo either himself or through General Sabia. You recall that?
That's correct.
And then we come to the third signal chat that we have. That's the signal chat of 26 January. It's at page 210. So maybe if we can go there, sorry, 110 of the annexure bundle. And we discussed it yesterday a little, or the day before yesterday a little, and you recall it addressed three different things. The first was the situation in Phoenix in relation to the woman. The second was the businesswoman in the BRICS cybersecurity arrangement. And the third had two components. It was the guy of the funding, who you said is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He's the one I said has a 3 billion contract with SAPS. And still under the same number, you said also meeting with the DNC and COS today in Durban for finalization of Khumalo and General Mkhonazi's matters. And then you followed that up with another message to the minister saying DNC is waiting for the COS here. This is very significant. And I want to put to you that if one looks at the chronology, the Khumalo and Mkhonazi matters that you were discussing with the minister that would involve the DNC and the Chief of Staff actually were your attempts to have the two generals set up on charges for defeating the ends of justice in relation to the General Khan inquiry.
No, that is not true.
Well, what was it? What were the Khumalo and Mkhonazi matters?
I did say previously, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It was my wish that that the Chief of Staff could meet with the DNC to actually allude to him all that he has heard from General Mkhonazi about me. That was all about.
And how does that relate to General Khumalo?
Because it was him, according to the Chief of Staff, in his words, what General Mkhonazi spoke, he also mentioned General Khumalo. And I believe it is because in my chat that time I said, how is your standing with General Khumalo? And he wanted to know what is it that General Khumalo said about him when I gave that other explanation about not listening and the CITs and stuff like that. That was the reason.
And can I ask you why you thought that the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Police and the Deputy National Commissioner of the South African Police Service would spend a time having a meeting to discuss your relationship with General Mkhonazi and General Khumalo? Why would it be any concern of theirs?
It was not my relationship. It was what General Mkhonazi said to the Chief of Staff.
What did he say to the Chief of Staff?
He told me over the phone that the Lieutenant General Mkhonazi says there's a problem with the guy from Northwest. Mogotsi is the one who's creating problems for us. Something of that sort.
And you thought that this was a matter for the immediate attention of the Deputy National Commissioner and the Chief of Staff?
The advantage was they were both in Durban at the time. That's the reason.
Sorry, I'm afraid I didn't hear that answer.
I was taking advantage that they were already in one place, like in the same area that time.
Your follow-up message, DNC is waiting for the Chief of Staff here. This is very significant. What was so significant about the fact? That the Chief
trying
of Staff
to-
hadn't come to a meeting to discuss.
Mr. Mogotsi, please wait until the question has been,
Thank you.
yeah.
What was so significant about the fact that the Chief of Staff in the Minister's office hadn't yet arrived for a meeting with the Deputy National Commissioner to discuss what General Mkonazi had apparently said to the Chief of Staff about you?
Commissioners, this question has been posed again. I did say I was kind of requesting the minister to ask or somehow tell the Chief of Staff to meet with the DNC so that he could speak to him about this problem. Whatever that Lieutenant General Mkonazi said about me to the Chief of Staff.
Sorry, what General Kumalo said
General
about you to the Chief of
General,
Staff?
no, General Mkonazi said about me to the Chief of Staff.
And that was the finalization of the Kumalo and General Mkonazi's matters as far as you were concerned?
Yeah, just to finalize that thing of what General Mkonazi said and what his concerns.
All you wanted apparently was finality in relation to learning what General Mkonazi thought about you. Is that what you're saying?
Not thought, what he told Chief of Staff about me.
Why would that require a meeting with General Sabia? Chief of Staff knew what he told
No,
you.
it's not that he wanted me. It was my suggestion that he should tell the DNC as soon as possible.
And why would the DNC have any interest in what General Mkonazi had told the Chief of Staff about his thoughts in relation to you?
The DNC is a senior police officer.
And what business is it of the DNC what General Mkonazi tells the Chief of Staff of his views in relation to you? Why is this a top-level police matter?
Like I said, it is what I suggested. You know, if you suggest something and you feel it is correct and you do it, then you are questioned why, and you still say, no, I thought it was the right thing to do. And that was the right thing to do.
Do you think that it is a sensible use of the time of the Deputy National Commissioner and the Chief of Staff in the Minister's office for them to meet specifically to discuss what General Mkonazi may have said to the Chief of Staff about you?
It is. You know, I don't know how this can be explained thoroughly. Including General Mkonazi himself, he did send a message to the minister that they must have a meeting and I must be present. It was testified in the ad hoc committee. But now, when it's me requesting, you know, it becomes something else. General Mkonazi did ask the minister to call a meeting with the DNC and whoever, but the minister did not do that meeting. But when it's me requesting just the 2 instead of 5, which General Mkonazi requested, this becomes so questionable in many ways.
There is a difference. If you're talking about a provincial commissioner in one province asking for a meeting with the Deputy National Commissioner to sort out relations within the top-level leadership of the South African Police Force, that makes sense.
With Brown Mogotsi present.
With Brown Mogotsi present, if Brown Mogotsi is interfering with those relations.
So, I can't ask questions. Sorry, Commissioner. No, I almost asked that. So is it what General Mkonazi said to Senior Counsel Tsarelo?
And why was that Kumalo's matter?
Because he did, when Lieutenant General Mkonazi spoke to the Chief of Staff, he did mention General Kumalo.
Did he mention General Khan?
No, he did not tell me about General Khan.
Chief of Staff didn't tell you about General
No, he
Khan?
didn't tell me.
You see, I want to put it to you that answer is self-evidently false, and that the Kumalo and Mkonazi's matters that you were referring to have to relate to something else.
No, it's not true. It's not false. What I'm saying here is that they had to meet, and I was thinking if Chief of Staff explains to the DNC exactly how he had whatever that General Mkonazi was saying was going to bring a kind of closure to the thinking of General Mkonazi.
You see, Mr. Mogotsi, you know what that meeting was about. The Commission can only draw its own inferences from what it sees in the evidence and any credible version that you put forward. Now, I'm going to put it to you that you haven't put forward any credible version, and so the Commission can only draw the most likely inference from what it sees in relation to all of these texts, which is that having regard to the timeline, having regard to the fact that you sent these messages to the Minister, that the Mkonazi and Khumalo matters that you were referring to were your attempt to have General Mkonazi and General Khumalo charged with defeating the ends of justice in relation to the Khan inquiry. That's what the evidence points to. One sees it in the timeline, one sees it in your meeting with the source, where the three people who the source is encouraged to engage with are the Minister, the Chief of Staff, and General Sabia. One doesn't see any other plausible explanation for what you were referring to in relation to the General Khumalo matter and the General Mkonazi matter. So unless you can give us one, we have to leave it at this point and draw the inference from the actual evidence that we have. So what are you saying these matters were?
It is obviously going to be what the senior counsel is saying, commissioners. If inference will only be taken from what the commission see at their disposal, being that they must believe, there is nothing I can do. On my side, I did look. I've just tried to say, like Madam Commissioner said, I did not bring anything. I said I have people, names, contact numbers who can corroborate something here. The Commission has never said what Senior Counsel is saying now, that they will take the information from those people, or they will ever allow me to bring that evidence. Or
who can we speak to corroborate your version that the meeting you were calling for here was to discuss what General Mkonazi had told the Chief of Staff in relation to you?
Those are the only two people I can speak to, General Sabia and Chief of Staff. Particularly, Chief of Staff will tell you exactly that no, after General Mkonazi called me, he did speak about Mr. Brown Mogotsi in this way and this way, and Brown requested that we should have a meeting.
When did you make this request?
I cannot remember. We'll have to go through what it was. Obviously, there are dates here, but I cannot remember specifically the time. I'll have to check when was that.
You see, what you say in this message, which was sent on the 26th of January, is that you were meeting with the Deputy National Commissioner and the Chief of Staff today, in other words, the 26th of January, in Durban, for finalization of the Khumalo and General Mkonazi's matters. And so are you suggesting that you had arranged a meeting in Durban on the 26th of January for the Deputy National Commissioner and the Chief of Staff to get together with you to brief you on what General Mkonazi had said about you, and in the process to mention what he may or may not have heard from General Khumalo?
I was in Durban, the DNC was in Durban. I was requesting that the three of us could meet. That's what I'm trying to say, that the two, Chief of Staff can come and narrate what he heard from Lieutenant General Mkonazi to the DNC.
Well, that's not what you were requesting. What you were saying in the first message is that you were meeting you were going to meet with the DNC and the COS today. Not please can I, it's also meeting with the DNC and COS today in Durban for finalization of this. So you're saying you had set up a meeting with them?
I had requested a meeting to set.
So
And it
you were
never
hoping to meet as opposed to...
And it never materialized, that meeting.
Well, it partially materialized because apparently General Sabia arrived for your meeting. Because your next text says DNC is waiting for the COS here. This is very significant.
Yes, but did not materialize. Chief of Staff, the one who was supposed to come and relay the message, did not come.
See, but General Sabia did come.
General Sabia was in Durban already, and I've asked him to wait at that particular place. I was going to come in case the Chief of Staff arrives, so he did not come. The Chief of Staff.
What was the particular place at which you were, at which General Sabia was told to wait?
No, General Sabia, he was in one hotel. It was, I think, Southern Sun.
Sorry, which hotel? The Southern Sun Hotel.
Yeah, in Durban.
Do you remember which Southern Sun?
No, what?
And is that where this meeting was going to take place?
No, he was at the Southern Sun that moment. So I was telling the minister, please ask Chief of Staff to also come because Sabia was waiting. But the fact that he did not even answer the phone or responded, meaning Chief of Staff, I ended up not going myself. I went, at some stage, I went to the airport and left.
Where was the meeting going to take place?
If a Chief of Staff answered the phone, the venue would still be confirmed at that moment, just to check.
So there was no confirmed venue yet?
Yes, we were not yet agreed as to where we're going to meet. That's correct.
And the Deputy National Commissioner was just waiting to find out where he was going to have this meeting with the Chief of Staff?
We would speak. It would depend where the Chief of Staff was, and maybe you could have said, let's meet where the Chief of Staff.
I remember one day Dr. Kalis came to me, he says to me, I've got an idea. You put a bike next to the machine, you cycle. Every time when I'm coming for dialysis, I cycle. Even now, when I go there, I will cycle again.
20 is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has a 3 billion contract with SAPS. Now, Mr. Madlanga had been funding what he thought was the minister's campaign. Is that not correct?
Mr. Madlanga only funded the trip that went for the January 8th celebration.
Yes, but he understood himself to be contributing to the minister's campaign. Is that not correct?
No, it's not correct.
I think it is. Yes. If we go to the relevant texts, you'll see, first of all, when you want money from him, you keep on saying, we are going to lose 2 regions. We need 12,500 for each of the regions.
For the regions, that's correct.
Yes. So what were the regions there to do?
You see, in the organization, we'll always have comrades in different parts of the country whom we will always have a relationship with. Even in our region, when we need something, we'll call them. You can be called in Mpumalanga, someone saying, hey, we have a regional conference, or we have this, please assist us with transport and so forth. And I don't think, talking of this presidential ambitions and all these things, they have not started. It is premature for people to say Madlanga was going to fund the campaign. It has not started. I haven't seen any political race so far. The ANC is going to local elections, is preparing for that. I never saw the presidential thing coming.
Can I take you to the exchange that you had with Mr. Madlanga in relation to D-Day?
To?
D-Day.
All right.
That's the 31st of December.
Page?
My section, it starts on, The relevant passage that I want to deal with is 59. You have it?
Yes.
And we've been through it already.
Is it paragraph or page?
Page 59 of the annexure bundle. Today is D-Day on the other side. I also think you must stand back, you say to Mr. Madlanga. He says, stand back? I don't understand what you mean. You say for your safety and business, we must just fight what comes your way. And then he says, this won't change my contribution towards the minister, though. I made a conscious decision and I'm not backing down. Whatever help the minister needs from my side, I'll be happy to assist. I just don't want to fight losing battles. What does that sound like to you?
It doesn't sound like nothing. He was just saying he won't change his mind to contribute to the minister, and he has made that conscious decision, and he won't back down. Whatever help the minister needs from his side, he'll be happy to assist. So the minister.
What funding had you been asking him for?
No, we have not asked funding from him. He has not.
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you were trying to explain away D-Day, you were trying to persuade the Commission that D-Day was the deadline for his contribution to January 8. Do you recall that?
That's correct.
And that was for funding?
For the celebration of ANC members traveling there.
Yes, but on the same day as that happens, he says to you, this won't change my contribution towards the minister, though. I made a conscious decision and I'm not backing down. Whatever help the minister needs from my side, I'll be happy to assist.
Yes, he said so.
What help did you think he had in mind?
Remember, it was only after he has met with the minister, he would declare what he would want to contribute. So far, he has not met with the minister. And when I try to digest this, I find it very difficult to explain this, that maybe a knowledge of how campaigns are done. This is not the way campaigns are done. Campaigns, you don't just meet Mr. Brown alone and he tells you about campaigning and he gives you money. Campaigns are done differently.
Well, let's see what he says immediately after he says, let's see what happens immediately after he says, I'm not backing down. Whatever help the minister needs from my side, I'll be happy to assist.
Yes, that's what he said.
So that is at 1140 at the bottom of page 59. If you go to the top of page 60, what do you say? You say, here is our backlog, and we now need to deal with this. It's a last day. I thought we spoke about it, but we did many regions. It's only 2 regions left. Is it possible for you to intervene on the membership for 2 regions, 12.5K each, because today we must pay?
Correct, but all these messages they don't talk about. You see, it is going to be very unbelievable. Even in my region right now, they were going to the regional conference. Doesn't need Madlanga or the minister to be involved. This that you see, people talking about regions and so forth, it happens every time when conferences or celebration comes. It's not, you cannot say, you cannot fundraise a particular region and align it to the minister. It's individuals in that region that will ask you to assist them.
But it's in response to Mr. Madlanga saying his contribution towards the minister is not going to change.
Yes, that was
whatever help the minister needs, he's going to provide.
Yeah, but it has not, you know, commissioners, every time when these things start, a person will have to meet with the campaign managers and the team. If you are talking provincial or national conference, and when he had those intentions to do that, he has not. It is unfortunate that I had according to what former Minister Bekitele said, he said Matlala said he met me with Senzo Mkunu and he was going to contribute to the presidential campaign of Senzo. I'm saying those campaigns have not started.
Can I look at not what you say today, but what you wrote to Mr. Matlala at the time? Let's go down the page, still on the 31st of December, D-Day. Go down to 1908. You say, we managed to push, we only need for those 2 regions. Then you send a bank account of an OD Lekwaba. Who's OD Lekwaba?
That was for David, yes, it's the same, my fiancé.
So, but who is OD Lekwaba?
It's my fiancé.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you send your fiancé's bank account.
Yes.
And you say we need 25K only. And then at 1910, you say we'll engage with everything and anything we need, my boss. The problem is we're going to lose voters in the 2 regions.
That's correct.
Now, how are you going to lose voters? Who are those voters there to vote for?
No, every region, you see, it should not be that is for the presidential for Senzo. Senzo does not contest in those regions. The assistance was directed to those regions.
So what is the voter issue?
The voters are members that should be assisted. Those are voters.
Members that should be assisted to do what?
In their own regional programs.
You see, Mr. Mogotsi, what this looks like to me, and I would submit to anybody else who looks at it sensibly, is that Mr. Matlala says, I'll do anything that you want to support the minister. I'm here to help the minister. And you then say, well, give me 25,000 to pay for these 2 regions, because otherwise we're going to lose voters. That's the help the minister wants.
No. Unless if I have written, okay, let me stick to the minister, or the minister say you must pay 25K. This should not be mixed with that. There's no way the minister comes in these things. Even if he had, I'm saying, should there be any presidential campaign, there was going to be a team which, and most of the time, the minister will have his chief of staff as a representative, probably. Not only Senzo Mkunu, most of ministers or any political head. That's why they have their chief of staff as their political appointees to that.
I see. Well, we'll have to leave that one there. So
before we leave, Advocate Cheskalson, Mr. Mogotsi, why would Ket Matlala be discussing with you a contribution towards the minister on the 31st of December 2024? If it has never come up before, why would he suddenly be talking about a contribution towards the minister?
It was his wish that he will meet with the minister and he will want to contribute for whatever the minister wants. And like I said, if there's any other thing that from the investigation that I picked up, in the midst of all these things, Matlala initially in December the 7th, he told me he wants to meet the minister, he has a problem with his tender, he wants to meet the minister, and you know, once he can meet the minister, he can help him, he can do whatever. Business people do say such things. The important thing is do not put the minister close to this person. That was the instruction of the handler. And they did not meet, he did not even give the minister a cent.
But when Advocate Cheskalson put to you that this is what Ket Matlala thought he was doing, you said no, that's not the case. Ket thought he was contributing towards the ministers.
No, it was not for the minister. Me and him never agreed that the minister's program is starting now. Please contribute to the minister's having. We never. And I'm not in a position, that's not my capacity, to can ever lay or look for money in the name of the minister. People who can look for money in the name of the minister are those he appoints to run probably his campaign at the right time. Here the campaign has not even started. Look, we are talking December last year. We are going to December. Even next year, December, the campaigns will not be there. We still have 2 years to go to talk presidential campaigns.
Well, can I take issue with that answer? Sorry. Let's go to page 112. That's the WhatsApp that you fabricated to send to Mr. Matlala, pretending to, or masquerading as a WhatsApp to the Chief of Staff. You remember that?
That's correct.
And you created that to look like an authentic exchange between yourself and the Chief of Staff, even though it was fabricated.
That's correct.
So it was designed to say what Mr. Matlala wanted to see you saying to the Chief of Staff.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Can we go down to, well, 112, what's forwarded there is the letter of complaint from inside SAPS. And then 113 is the key piece that you want Matlala to see. You want to see that you're fighting his cause. And there you pretend to be saying to the Chief of Staff, this matter may be escalated to you because of non-performance. Our guy needs your intervention. January 08 guy who's about to take over our program. What are you saying there?
The fact that the message is fabricated, I was trying to show him that it is the guy of January 8, it is the guy who wants to take over the program.
And what's that program?
As you say, remember I was telling you about this, the charity organization in the KZN. This is the one. It's not yet the president.
So it's not a political campaign now, it's the minister's private charitable foundation.
Yes, this is what I also told.
So Kat Matlala was a funding guy, but he wasn't funding a political campaign, he was funding a charitable foundation.
Yeah, which he has not funded. It's the message designed for him to see, for Matlala to see that I send this message.
I see. Well, let's go back then to page 110, because at least we now have some clarity. On page 110, at the foot of the page, you say the guy of the funding is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He's the one I said has a 3 billion contract with SAPS. Well, we now know that Mr. Matlala is a guy of the funding because he's funding the minister's charitable campaign.
Yes. I told you it's not even 3 billion, it's 30 million. This is Josias, a different person.
I see, yes. Well, let's first clarify how Mr. Matlala ticks these boxes, and then let's get to Josias. He is a guy of the funding. He, on your version, has offered to take over the minister's charitable foundation, or the funding of the charitable foundation.
The program, yeah.
Yes.
But in this time, you just tell me the program.
Okay.
Yes.
But he's certainly offering funding for a project of the minister's.
Kind of, yes.
And he has a contract with SAPS.
Who Josias?
Mr. Matlala.
Yes, yes.
It's not 3 billion. How much is it?
The tender for Matlala?
Yes, the Medicare contract. Do you know what its value
was?
was?
360 million.
360 million. So a bit of exaggeration in this text if it's applied to Mr. Matlala. You say it doesn't refer to Mr. Matlala.
No, it's Josias.
It refers to Josias.
That's correct.
Does Josias have a surname?
Yes, I think he's a vendor surname. He actually told me he has a contract at SAPS, and he was willing to do whatever that we spoke about.
Well, let's get his surname first, because we can then track down Josias.
I only know him. I only know him as Josias. Including him, he never met the minister, he never met the chief of staff. He was just trying to say he can contribute to the guy Josias.
So someone with a vendor surname and a first name called Josias told you he had a contract at SAPS. Was the contract in the name of a company, do you know?
Yeah, we have not yet met and shared the details. He just said he's got a contract and he wants to contribute to that charity organization.
So he wants to contribute to the minister's
Yes.
charity, and he has a contract with SAPS, but you don't know what that contract is.
Yes, I didn't know.
Yesterday or the day before, I think you mentioned that it was a 30 million rand contract.
That's correct.
So you know the value of the contract, but not the.
Here in the wilds of South Africa, something remarkable from Amazon has arrived. It's full of surprises, up to 60% off plus same-day delivery for just R2. Black Friday is almost here. Wishlist your favorites now.
And that I want to meet the minister. When in actual fact, you will tell the minister somebody has interest and he'd like to meet with you or whatsoever. As a comrade, he'll say, hey, man, tell him to go to my province if he wants to contribute in my province. Tell him to speak to Chief of Staff if he wants the meeting. But Les Josias, when I said Tuesday, that meeting also never happened. We never met, and I never made follow-ups because even after that, he did not speak to me much, Les Josias.
So it's just another unfortunate coincidence here that your text refers to someone who seems to tick the boxes of Mr. Madlanga, but actually relates to somebody else called Josias who has a vendor surname and whose other details we seem not to be able to establish.
Yeah, but commissioners, I believe that for Minister Senzo, I could have said this guy has a contract of 360 million, is a Medicare company. I should have given the minister details if it was CAT.
I see. And the fact that you just referred to the funding guy and the contract with SAPS is evidence that it wasn't CAT.
May you please repeat the question, Commissioner?
The fact that you just referred to the funding guy and the contract with SAPS is evidence that you weren't referring to CAT. Is that what you're suggesting to us?
Commissioner, I get confused that, well, I send this message and I've said it so many times that if it was CAT, perhaps I could have identified him differently as opposed to this.
If it wasn't CAT, why did you bother sending this to CAT?
Is to show him that I am working and I'm very close to the minister and I'm doing something every day. That's, you know, he knew that he has the minister's man all the time. And he did not, that's why sometimes he'll even say, I see you are sending me so many things. What is this? What are you talking about?
So this is just another unfortunate coincidence. You send to CAT a text that looks for all the world that it's referring to him, but actually it isn't.
I don't know what Commissioner is seeing to be a coincidence here.
You see, Mr. Madlanga, I'm reminded of what the villain says in one of those early James Bond movies, which is once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action. We're at about 8 times, and you want us to believe that they're all just coincidences.
But there's nothing coincidental here.
It's not a coincidence. You send a text to CAT that looks for all the world that it's referring to CAT, but it's just, unfortunately, a mistaken appearance. It doesn't refer to CAT, although it looks like it's referring to CAT.
Yeah, but Commissioner, CAT did not have 33 billion in contract. No one has. I don't know of anyone. And I knew this was 30 million.
I
And
see.
you'd also understand, maybe you want to ask me, how does Cat feels when I say there's a guy who is going to meet, he also has a contract, and is going to be available on Tuesday? Maybe if that was the question, Commissioner. Is that the question, Commissioner? Or how does he feel when he sees this?
How does Cat feel when he sees a text from you saying that he's going to be in Joburg on Tuesday and that he's expecting a meeting with the minister?
Another person.
Another person.
That's correct.
Let's look at what happened with Cat. Because straight after you send this meeting, as you send this this text, if we go staying on page 111 down to 2037, the very next text, you write to Cat, they just left the Lekgotla.
That's correct.
Yes. And he says, so what's the plan? Should I make my way there or what?
That's the
He
plan.
thinks he's coming to a meeting with the minister, does he not?
No. This is the time when I said General Begitele was in Cat's house. This is the one.
Sorry, this is the time?
When I said after Lekgotla, that's when General Taylor was in Cat's house.
I see.
That's correct.
So you send him a text which says that the guy of the funding is also in Joburg from Tuesday, and he's the one with the contract with SAPS. You then tell him they just left the Lekgotla, and he says, should I come over there? And actually, he's not meeting the person who was told apparently that he's in Joburg. He's there to meet somebody else entirely, General Pele, who's not been mentioned in any of these texts previously. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but this, Commissioners, the meeting here, this is now this is now January. This is the 26th of January on a Sunday. Then
Let's take you through the sequence.
Okay.
The chat with the minister is on the Sunday the 26th of January.
That's correct.
Monday was the 27th. Tuesday was the 28th. You tell the minister that the guy of the funding is in Joburg from Tuesday, from the 28th.
That's correct.
On Thursday the 30th, you send that text to Cat.
That's correct.
And Cat says, and then immediately after, on the same day as you send that text, you say, they just left the Lekgotla. And Cat says, should I make my way there or what? What does it look like to you?
Yeah, but you see, this Commissioners, perhaps Council, you imply that this was the meeting I spoke about. It was not Tuesday. This was now on Thursday.
Yes, but what you said to the minister is the guy with the funding is here in Joburg from Tuesday. Thursday is from Tuesday.
Yeah, that's correct. But Cat is staying here in Gauteng. He's staying in Pretoria. For him to have a meeting, I wouldn't have to say he's there from Tuesday. He's staying here. I can tell you, that's why I said perhaps the question here is, how does Cat feels to show him these meetings? It is for one reason that I showed him these messages, especially this one. One talks about a woman who's doing cybersecurity. The other one talks about someone who's doing a business and whatever and whatever. Is to show Cat that he's not the only business person who will want to engage with the minister. There are so many other pro-business people who can meet with the minister. Could you show him that the minister is also, that he should not believe he's the only businessman who's there. You show that, no, the minister is busy, also have this one, you also have this one. And you are showing him also in this message is that I am able to tell the minister to meet this businessman. I am able to tell him, meet this businessman, meet that one. You are showing Cat to continue believing that himself, he'll have this chance to meet with the minister. It's not that it's mistaken and it's coincidental that this now refers to Cat. No. Now here, let me tell you, and this is very sensitive, but it happened. when I said, should I made a plan there? I wish on this particular two things, Commission, may I approach Council on these two things? To approach Council only 5 seconds on these two things that I need to give clarity about. Or else I'm going to request to make a representation, because this is something that I don't really think I can just say it here. Maybe I should just ask 1 minute, ask them.
Chair, there may be a route through this. I had arranged with Mr. Matlala's counsel earlier that, I apologize, Mr. Mogotsi. Mr. Mogotsi's counsel earlier that because we might sit a little later today, we would have a break. Well, I would ask for a break. And why don't, if we could take a 5-minute, 10-minute break now, just to give Mr. Mogotsi a bit of a break so that we can sit a little later.
Let's adjourn and come back at 10 past.
Thank you, Chair.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Thank you, Mr. Mogotsi. I'm dizzy. Let's do this. Let's start here. Okay, let's do this. I want us to start from the beginning here.
The section when we adjourned yesterday, or am I mistaken?
What I want to address now is the issue in relation to IPID and the and also some of the texts between.
That sounds like a new section.
It is a new section.
Yes.
Indeed.
Mr. Mogotsi, I have a fundamental problem with your entire testimony at this point. That problem relates to how you appear to value or not to value an oath. Mr. Shaskelson dealt with this aspect, but I want to approach it from a slightly different angle. In the affidavit, starting at page 43 of the exhibit bundle, that is exhibit CJC 44, you say that you work for government in the office of the Minister of Police. I think that's in paragraph 1 of that affidavit.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes. In response to a question by Mr. Shaskelson, you said that that statement was a lie, correct?
That's
I just
correct.
want a yes or no answer.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. I understand you to say you deliberately told this lie for a specific purpose, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
You told this lie under oath, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
Now, do you consider an oath to be binding on your conscience?
I consider it, Commissioner.
But in the affidavit I've referred to, you told a lie, and you took an oath well knowing that part of the content of that affidavit was a lie, correct?
Correct, but I was on duty in executing my duties, Commissioner.
But it's correct that as you took the oath, you knew, even as you took the oath, that you were lying in that affidavit, correct?
Correct, to achieve the objective of the mission, Commissioner.
But it's correct that
This guy, what is wrong with this guy, man? This guy wrote an affidavit and he lied on the affidavit, right? And then the reason why he lied on the affidavit, it was because he was doing his job, or he was completing a mission, okay, according to him, right? That is strange, though. So, anyway, let's continue and let's hear. I don't understand what's
you
going
took
on.
the oath knowing that you are lying.
It's true, Commissioner. That's correct.
I will ask you, do you consider an oath to be binding on your conscience?
I consider it, Commissioner.
Can you explain, though? Can you explain what you mean by that? There's the oath you took in respect of CJC 44. And as you took the oath, you knew you were lying. When you took that particular oath, did you consider it to be binding on your conscience? That earlier oath, not the one you took before us. Did you consider that to be binding
The one on
your
the affidavit.
Sorry, CJC 44. At page 43.
That's correct. Commissioner, will I be allowed to say something, please?
Can you just answer the question?
Yes.
Did you consider that oath to be binding on your conscience?
For the purpose of the mission I was undertaking, Commissioner, it was the only way to execute that mission.
And can you now answer the question directly? Okay, thank you, I hear you. Can you answer the question directly? Did you consider that oath to be binding on your conscience? Yes or no? You've given an explanation. Now I want a direct answer to my question.
You know, Commissioner, the questions you are putting, it's somehow putting me in a position to, it looks that now the questions are suppressing me. And when I say, may I say something to the Commission, I thought I could bring probably a particular understanding.
Mr. Mogotsi, you do give a very lengthy explanation when you were questioned by Advocate Shaskalsin. You explained fully why you did what you did in respect of the oath in CJC 44. So you've given your full explanation. I am aware of it.
All right.
So in trying to explain again, it cannot be on the basis that you think I do not remember your full explanation.
Yeah.
Advocate Shaskalsin gave you the time to explain. He did not interfere, nor did we interfere. So we have heard your explanation. Do you get me?
I get you, but what I was about to say now, Commissioners, is to add to what I was saying, to give probably, because it seems like this process misses, there is something missing in this process.
Are you going to add something different to what you already explained fully yesterday?
No, giving the background to, I'm going to explain a context that will bring a proper understanding to this.
So that you do not leave this room with a view that you are being suppressed. I'm using your verb. So perhaps let me give you an opportunity to give yet another explanation.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, when I came here to this commission, I never said I'm a high priest. I said I'm a state agent, and I have an instrument called the legend building, which allows me, in circumstances in executing my duties, to use what you call a false life. It's part of what I do. And the reason I requested to speak, Commissioner, it is because even the evidence leader, I was checking how it's like he's a prosecutor. He's not playing the role of evidence leader. Because I said I am an agent. In circumstances when in executing my duties, I have to lie. Now he come to the people, to the public, and say I'm a professional liar, knowing that I told him if I execute my duties, I do give a certain impression to reach or to get to the bottom of what the mission wants. Because even Madam Commissioner yesterday, she said, I'm bringing.
So he was in a mission to, what mission was he on? So he was in a mission, what mission was he on? Mission to do what? Mission to mislead, or mission to give a different impression? So that what happens then? For what even? I don't understand. Is it me who is missing something? Tell me, guys, in the comments. Tell me, did I just miss something here?
Allegations, I'm talking about people, allegations that I make, I cannot provide proof. That is my job, commissioners. An agent is not a policeman who will obtain statements that can be presented here.
Choose your price up front, then ride.
Traffic, ne? Good thing we have a set fare. No surprises.
Let me bring in Andy Mashaile, who is a security expert as well as a former Interpol.
Say, come here. What is going on? Where were we?
And this happened. Commission found it there. I said there is Boko Haram's thing within the crime intelligence. We held the funeral at home.
And you understood that, because otherwise you would not have been heard, right? If the matter was...
Also have a story to tell.
That you were lying in that affidavit, correct?
Correct, to achieve the objective of the mission, Commissioner.
But it's correct that you took the oath knowing that you were lying.
It's true, Commissioner. That's correct.
I will ask you, do you consider an oath to be binding on your conscience?
I consider it, Commissioner.
Can you explain, though? Can you explain what you mean to explain? He did not interfere, nor did we interfere. So we have heard your explanation. Do you get me?
I get you. But what I was about to say now, commissioners, is to add to what I was saying, to give probably, because it seems like this process there is something missing in this process.
Are you going to add something different to what you already explained fully yesterday?
No, given the background, I'm going to explain a context that will bring a proper understanding to this.
So that you do not leave this room with a view that you are being suppressed. I'm using your verb. So perhaps let me give you an opportunity to give yet another explanation.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, when I came here to this commission, I never said I'm a high priest. I said I'm a state agent.
Some other topics I'd like to get through, so I'm not going to pursue that last line of questioning any further. Mr. Mogotsi, if we just quickly run through a chronology, your signal message to the minister that we've been looking at was sent on 26 January. The meeting with the colonel who was possibly going to trap Generals Khumalo and Mkonazi was on 29th January. In Parliament yesterday, the Chief of Staff mentioned that the minister had scheduled a meeting with you for 3 February, which was a week after you sent the morning minister a letter about the Khumalo and General Mkonazi matters and the funding guy with the contract with SAPS. He says that the 3 February meeting apparently couldn't take place because people were called urgently to Lutuli House. What was the 3 February meeting going to be about?
It's going to be a political meeting.
Political meeting?
That's
and
correct.
What in particular?
We call different people from different regions.
Different regions of the Northwest or different regions of...
It was, I think, it was the Northwest, yes.
And why did they have to meet with the minister?
And if it's political, it means they would have raised their political issues with the member of the NEC, National Executive Committee member of the ANC. They will raise their political issues with him.
So it just so happened to be that the member of the NEC that they wanted to raise issues with was the minister?
That's correct.
And who were these people who were due to come?
It would be members of the ANC.
No, I understand that, but if they're coming to see the minister in the capacity as
members of the ANC,
as members of the ANC, you can happily give their names.
The names of the people who are going to attend the meeting?
Who were going to come to that meeting. You see, I ask you this question because the Chief of Staff's version yesterday in Parliament was remarkably unparticularized. He couldn't point to any attendance register. He couldn't point to any people who were there. He couldn't point to any access at the gate. He could say nothing other than that he'd been asked to set up this meeting and that you were bringing people, but they couldn't come.
Yes.
So what I want to know is who were the people you were going to bring?
Commissioners, a meeting of that sort.
Mr. Mogotsi, it's a very simple question. Who were the people? They have names. What were their names?
I don't get the point, Minister. That meeting never took place. It is because, let me explain this properly, Commissioners.
Mr. Mogotsi, if you know the names, it does not require an explanation. Do you know the names or not? If you do, please give us the names.
The names were not yet prepared because we were relying on when they said people were called to Lituli, it means whoever that we are planning to bring being a leader, you cannot bring their followers without a leader. It is leaders like your regional leadership, regional chair and secretaries who were called to Lutuli House. Now, we could not convene any other meeting without the regional leadership. So at that stage, we did not have people who...
There's something about mom's touch. It makes cough, headache, and blocked nose go poof.
It's more than just my touch. It's Vicks VapoRub. It relieves nasal congestion, cough, body ache, headache, and muscle stiffness for a good night's sleep. Vicks VapoRub.
Would have been there along with other people. Then...
No, I'm not saying that.
You're not saying that?
Yes, there was a meeting which we had with regional secretaries. I have names, but that one did not materialize. When you call that meeting, you say, please bring one rep from your region. And if that meeting does not take place, those reps, you won't be able to see them, and therefore you don't have the names.
You see, if I understood the version of the Chief of Staff correctly, it's not consistent with what you're telling me now, because the Chief of Staff said that it was already a few minutes past the scheduled start time for the meeting when he was called to say that people can't come because they've been called urgently to Luthuli House. So if that was the situation, you would have known who was due to be at the meeting, and the fact that they were subsequently called urgently to Luthuli House wouldn't prevent you from telling me who was supposed to be there but for the Luthuli House call.
You know, commissioners, there are so members, many members of the NC that I know, my friend. I would have just said, Tato, Tepo, Mama. To be honest, once a meeting is arranged and did not, that meeting, for him to say it was the last minute cancellation, it is because the leaders who were not coming here, the leaders were called to the tool. So the same leaders could not give us their names, could not give us their representative who were coming. I'm saying to you that because there are even few members now who left the ANC, I could have called their name or called to F, but we did not have the list. I was also going to meet them here in Gauteng. So I don't have the names.
So this meeting was about ordinary ANC business in the Northwest?
Not business.
What was it?
Like concerned members. If you say one rep per region, it means Northwest has 4 regions. You will bring 4 people. But those leaders you are talking to, you'll never know who are they bringing. So that meeting, therefore, never took place.
And what was the purpose of the meeting? What were you going to raise with the MEC, with the minister in his capacity as an NEC member?
I don't know what they're going to raise. It is them who have to come and give their political overview, their feeling in the province, and so forth.
But the Chief of Staff said it was your meeting, that you were bringing people, that the minister had scheduled a meeting with you and some people you were going to bring.
Yeah, you know, commissioners, I was watching the same thing that you are talking about. I could have had answers of those people. I'm saying only the leaders who were called to Luthuli, did not give me those that had to attend. So I cannot have the names, even if it was my meeting. And those people that were coming to attend for that meeting, it's a normal thing for maybe comrades from KZN or Free State to meet with the minister, is to raise their general concerns from where they come from, not me, where I come from, where they come from, to raise their issues and with a member of the National Executive Committee.
And have you been involved in any meetings of the NEC, or not NEC, meetings with the minister in his capacity as NEC member, other than that meeting that didn't happen?
Yeah, there was a meeting of regional secretaries, and only 2 of them came with their drivers, and the meeting could not necessarily be fruitful, but it took place. I was present in that meeting.
Where was that? Where and when was that meeting?
Minister's State House.
And when?
Commissioners, I'm not good with dates, and this is a disadvantage, but it was last year. I can't remember.
2024, not 2025.
Not 2025.
I'm going to move on to another topic which has been touched on in part. It's the apparent advance notice that you got of the disbandment order. I'm not sure if there are any issues that the Commission wants to traverse before we go.
We will ask our questions when we resume, so we'll let it go.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
We know that the PKTT disbandment letter was sent from the Chief of Staff to the National Commissioner's Office at 17:20, that's 5:20 p.m. on New Year's Eve, 31 December 2024. That's when the letter went out. If we go to your chats, and this is a point that Commissioner Khumalo raised with you, at 11:32 on that morning, which is a good almost 6 hours before the letter went out, you were telling Mr. Matlala that today is D-Day on the other side. And that he must stand back for his safety and business, and he said, this won't change my contribution towards the minister, although I made a conscious decision and I'm not backing down. Backing down, whatever help the minister needs from my side, I'll be happy to assist. Just don't want to fight losing battles, he says. And you've had an exchange with the Commissioner who put to you that the most obvious interpretation of your text to Mr. Matlala is anticipation of the disbandment letter. You denied that.
I deny that.
And you have suggested that what you were really speaking to Mr. Matlala about was he had to pay today because it was the deadline for the January the 8th contributions.
That's correct.
How does that explanation square with his response, which is, this won't change my contribution towards the minister, though. I made a conscious decision and I'm not backing down. Whatever help the minister needs from my side, I'll be happy to assist. I just don't want to fight losing battles. Why did he say that if what you were telling him was you have to pay today, otherwise it's too late?
Yeah, on that part, he was talking about his safety and his business. Remember, I told him there are possibilities that the KKTT could come to your house. Now, and as I'm repeating it, the statement again, Commissioner, I said the D-Day had to do with the celebration. Now that I'm saying we will fight for all the way for him, and he's still saying, he's also trying to please me, that, okay, and myself also, my boss, I won't change my decision. I am going to help the minister and whatsoever. But the point is, the reason he said that, he was trying, I believe he was trying to please me.
Well, we have traversed this, and you have traversed it with Commissioner Khumalo. I'm not going to take it forward. I do want to put to you that what you were referring to was not deadlines for payment, but was anticipation of the disbandment letter.
So far, it is vividly clear that Matlala, I was talking to him openly. If there was a letter coming, I would have given him that letter. It's the first time that I hear even that the letter came from the Chief of Staff. And because I'm talking to him, probably I would have received the letter the same day and showed it to Kat the same day. So I only got the letter from social media, I believe it was the second day.
Well, let's wait till we get there, because before we get there, on the 1st of January, at 13:41,
page?
Page 62 at the bottom of the page, there's a text which you've denied, or a chat which you've denied. At 13:51, the text reads, "Good day, it's from you to Kat. Good day, I've arranged a meeting for Sabia and the Minister must have a solution. You say you never sent that.
Page 62.
Sorry?
Yes, I did not send this message.
You deny sending that.
Yes.
I have to put to you that your denial is unsustainable, but we will in due course bring the technical evidence to show that this text could not have been planted in that body of WhatsApp messages, but it's a technical question. I don't want to take it further with you now, but I have to put it to you.
Oh, I hear that there will be a technical person for this. You know, it is my wish, commissioners, that this cell phone for Cat, when you are having those experts, perhaps I should be allowed to bring a same machine.
Sorry, the same machine?
Yeah, we know they are using the cell bright machine. And I've said yesterday, this cell bright machine, South African Police Service it has that machine. No one operates it. They are utilizing these other companies that I cannot mention. That machine, you choose the message that you want to extract. And I wish they bring it here on that day, they extract. Once they are done, they must allow us to also extract, with my person to extract.
If you want to appoint an expert to be present at the mirror imaging of the phone from the original sealed evidence bag in which it's kept, and to make your own image, we will make the necessary arrangements if that is necessary.
Not mirroring, not to mirror, to do what they did, the download, to show you from the phone, the day it was bought till today. Whatever that was taken out, we'll be able to take out. Whatever that was deleted, we'll put it back. Things that General Mogotsi said there in Parliament, that they can do what, like I said.
Something remarkable from Amazon is coming soon.
During our cooperation, if you want an expert appointed to perform these exercises, when we get to it, your legal team can be in touch with us.
Thank you.
Let's then get to the 1st of January. And at 10:38 on the 1st of January, you send a message to Mr. Matlala, which we see at page 63, 10 p.m. 22:38. The message says, the task team that came to your house and harassed you has been dissolved, disbanded. You see it?
Correct.
And your evidence was that you sent this message after finding the disbandment letter on social media.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And I asked you whether it was public social media or private social media. Had someone sent it to you privately? You said no, it was publicly accessible.
That's correct, Commissioner.
You see, I want to put it to you that evidence is false, because we have done a comprehensive search of public social media, and the earliest that any public source announced the disbandment decision was when the journalists who scooped the story posted about the disbandment decision on X at 21 hours 32 p.m. on the 2nd, not on the 1st, on the 2nd.
For you, my guy.
So you had in your possession information of the disbandment 23 hours before it went public.
It's not true. Who did that study, I don't know how he's going to prove that that journalist was the first one to get that was the first to run the story, or when did the journalist get the story. I got the letter from the social media, and it was all over social media. And everyone, including General Mogotsi, General Masemo, no one mans up and say, including the recipient, no one receives to accept to have received the letter. All of them say they got it from the social media.
Indeed,
And
everyone did get it from social media.
My contention, commissioners, is that the recipient of that letter is the one who leaked it because it was against the wish.
I'm not accusing you of leaking it. I'm just putting to you that you were aware of the information before it was publicly available on social media.
I was not aware. There was no way I could be aware.
Well, if you can track the source from which you found that letter, I would be very interested in knowing that source, because we see no evidence whatsoever of any publicly available source speaking to that letter before 21:32 on the 2nd.
I don't know if I'll be able to find it, commissioners. My only wish is that maybe this PKTT now, if it still exists, should maybe be given to Limpopo to run it, or Gauteng, because this PKTT, for it to be based in KZN, it is a problem. Maybe it should be given to General Lassani Northwest or someone, because just to see what will happen if it is administered or managed by different people. Thank you, Commissioner.
What is he talking about?
Can I just check this? Mr. Mogotsi, you say you say the recipient is responsible for leaking the letter. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's in my view. I'm not speaking.
Oh, you're not stating it as a fact.
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we go down, still on page 63, to the 2nd of January at 8:58? There you send a message to Mr. Matlala saying they got the letter on Monday. As we speak, they're bringing all the dockets to Sibiya.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes, and there was ultimately a decision to bring the dockets to General Sibiya's office. But that was only taken officially in March of 2025.
That's correct, Commissioner.
But you seem to have advance notice that this decision was going to be taken.
Yeah, this has been coming so many times, and I'm trying to think perhaps we should check who actually gave the directive that the dockets must go to General Sibiya. I think that's why now even the Commission should establish whether is it Brown Mogotsi who said take those dockets to Sibiya, because now I have mentioned it and I gave example to say I was with someone, there was issue of the docket, it was somehow I was made aware that the dockets belongs to the Deputy National Commissioner. And I then thought, indeed, they're going to go to him. Now, the story that, because I knew beforehand, maybe we now have to check, especially with the subs management, the brigade, the major, the general who was here, we must check who said the docket must go to General Sibiya, so that we can see if is it the minister, because it's somehow purported that is the minister or chief of staff, someone I'm
Mr. Mogotsi, I'm not interested in who said it. I'm interested in when it was first said and why you assumed, or you said that was happening on the 2nd of January at 8:58 in the morning.
Yeah.
When it happened, we know it was several months later. What we're interested in is why you said that on 2 January at 8:58.
The dockets belongs, all the dockets are they are reporting to the Deputy National Commissioner.
So you considered it simple common sense that if the task team's going to be dissolved, the dockets would all go back to General Sibiya's office as the Deputy National Commissioner?
Yeah, it can be common, because it's not common for everyone, that time for me, because I knew that the dockets, as a matter of principle, I heard from someone telling me that Deputy National Commissioner is responsible for all the dockets in the country. Therefore, I presumed that they will go back to him.
You see, we've had evidence in this commission relating to whether it was common sense or common practice. And the unanimous evidence is that it wasn't. Can I take you to General Mkhonazi's evidence in the exhibit bundle at 187? Do you have 187?
I have.
There, the evidence leader, Advocate Selo SC, in line 11 asks this question. If a task team in KwaZulu-Natal is disbanded, and I'll assume for purposes of this question that it is correctly disbanded, what automatically happens to those dockets that the task team handled? And General Mkhonazi responds, the case dockets, commissioners, belong to a police station. The cases opened at a police station get registered. It's going to have a case number of a particular police station. The docket might be investigated by a specialized unit, a task team, or whatever that is established, but in conclusion thereof, it goes back to the police station where it was registered. So if there was a decision to stop the work of this task team on dockets that are already finalized, will need to be returned back to the stations, and dockets that are still under investigation will also need to be returned back to the very same stations, so that those dockets will be allocated to different investigators at the station so the work or investigation work can continue. So the provincial commissioner said, well, in the ordinary course of events, you would expect dockets to go back to the police stations. But his wasn't the only evidence, because then we heard the evidence of Major General Motsepe. She's actually in General Sibiya's office. And she is the general in the office of General Sibiya who was ultimately tasked with responsibility for these very dockets. And she made clear in testimony before this commission a few days before you testified that it was not common sense for the dockets to be brought back to General Sibiya's office. And I can just read what she said at page 10 of the transcript of her evidence. She says, what I'm trying to say from the onset, there were no proper explanation to me why the dockets were taken here. So the very person in General Sibiya's office who was given responsibility for the office said she had no explanation as to why they would come to her or to her office. So the generals in SAPS wouldn't have predicted that the dockets would go to General Sibiya, but you managed to predict that several months before it happened. How was that?
It happened. Just like that.
Just like that. Another one of these marvelous coincidences.
No. Now check the same provincial commissioner who knows that the dockets must go to the police stations, who has the authority to disperse them to the police stations. Why didn't he do that?
That's a question that we can put to General Mkhonazi if we choose to. But I am asking you, how did you know that the dockets would be brought back up to General Sibiya when all of the generals in the police force that we've spoken to about this question thought that that wasn't standard practice?
Mogotsi knew. Unless there was a directive from either the person who suspected to have given me the letter. Like now, I speak to Chief of Staff. Here's the Chief of Staff.
I'm not interested in the letter anymore. I'm interested in the knowledge that the dockets were going to go to the office of General Sibiya.
Then the commission, probably the commission should establish who said the dockets must go. Because during some sessions here, chairperson of the commission did ask the same general that there was something like General Mkhonazi said they must come to Gauteng for audit or to be checked. And the chairperson did not necessarily take that it was a futile. Why wouldn't they be audited in the province? Now, I'm scared to get into that terrain that General Mkhonazi, it is him who brought the docket to Gauteng. And
I'm not asking how the dockets got to General Sibiya's office. I'm asking how you knew on the 2nd of January, that the dockets would be taken to General Sibiya's office.
I would say, Commissioners, common sense that I had then is still not common to everyone. Because unless if there was or there is something that probably I'm getting linked, there is a directive maybe from the Minister or the Chief of Staff or General Sibiya himself said, bring those dockets, then you would say, he told me. So I'm saying it was my thinking because the Deputy National Commissioner, all the dockets in the country reports to the Deputy National Commissioner. And I can...
Yeah. Mr. Mogotsi, someone told you about this letter. You say it was on social media. Why don't you just admit that somebody told you the dockets are going to General Sibiya? I mean, it's not what's being put to you is the generals at the SAPS who have testified here have said it did not make sense for the dockets to come to Pretoria. That's their evidence, all of them. You are the only one so far before the commission who knew that these dockets are going to go to General Sibiya, and you say it's common sense for you, an informer who's not an employee of the SAPS other than a contact agent, you say common sense they would go to Sibiya. It's very difficult to, sitting here, it's very difficult to believe your answer, that is the best answer you are able to give.
I can make reference again, Commissioner. I remembered something. Yesterday, when I was speaking about Major General Lushaba's case, docket 38, now I remember again, this was the second time. That docket could not be found. And that, my handler, I remember again, he had to talk to his commander that they should go to the office of the Deputy National Commissioner and give, so that the DNC, Deputy National Commissioner, could give instruction that he wanted the docket. So and I should apologize to use the word common sense because I relied on the first incident after the VIP protection from the Deputy President when they were arrested. I thought that matter is investigated in SAPS, and I heard no, it's done by the presidency. Now but they are surprised why it is done by the presidency because all the dockets belong to the DNC that time. And the second incident is when with the docket 38, it could not be found, I think, today. So I knew also.
So you were, okay.
Thank you.
So because of the Lushaba docket, what you came to know, you knew from that the dockets, the PKTT dockets will go to General Sibiya. I'm trying to understand your answer.
No, I'm trying to say because even the handler and his commander, he had to find a way to get General Sibiya to give instruction that the docket should come to him. So I also learned there that the DNC is responsible for all the dockets in the country. That's the little knowledge I have.
So you're saying you knew from experience. It's no longer common sense now. You say you knew from your experience in the Lushaba matter that the dockets, the PKTT dockets will come to General Sibiya. Is that what you're saying now?
Not the PKTT. If the DNC is responsible for all the dockets, irrespective that whether it's a PKTT or it's crime or stock theft, I just thought, the common sense came on the basis of that experience that, because the DNC is responsible for the dockets, therefore. Hence, I request the commission should establish who said this docket must go to DNC.
No, the question really that Mr. Chaskalson is asking you is how did you know, not a general inquiry. Thank you.
Dear Leander, not long until we get to meet you. We've been prepping for months. Even with Charlie's helping. We want to give you the whole world and more. Gitsugile. In a good way. With Old Mutual, you don't have to have it all figured out. Wherever you're at.
No, you can't do that to me, bro.
Informing him of the disbandment of the task team on the night of the 1st of January, but then chose to send the letter on the morning of the 2nd of January at 10 o'clock. Did you have the letter in your hands when you sent that message?
Yes, I
on the night. You had the letter already on the 1st of January at 10:38.
That's correct. But I was also trying to establish whether is the letter authentic or not. I kept it, and when I saw the letter now on full swing in media platforms, that's when I sent him the following day.
Well, I'm not going to go back to you in relation to full swing, because in fact it was nowhere to be seen until 9 o'clock on that evening. But why did you think it was okay to tell Mr. Matlala that the task team had been dissolved, but not to give him the letter?
As I said, what if the letter was fake?
Well, then he would be very, very disappointed that you told him that this task team that harassed him had been dissolved, and it turned out that it hadn't been dissolved.
Yeah, I had to verify if the letter was authentic also.
But on your version, you broke the news to him.
That's correct.
Before you did any verification.
That's correct.
Why did you think it was all right to break the news but not to send the letter?
No, that letter was not my letter. I could even take it to Zambia or anywhere. All I need is that Ket Matlala's, this PKTT went to harass him. It will be great news for him. I just said, let me check if this is not fake. Then in the morning I saw it somewhere. Then I gave him a proof.
But in the evening before, on your version, you knew that it was for real. You broke the news to him. You said it's been disbanded, it's been dissolved.
Yeah, that's correct. But it wouldn't be a good move to send it if I have not authenticated it.
But it was all right to tell the news, which is the crucial news he wanted to hear, even though you hadn't authenticated.
Very much. It was so much relevant just to inform him and to bolster that I'm having information beforehand. Like now, if just like SC has said, this is a man who's a professional liar. Like now, it is presumed. I can feel it. I got the letter from either someone or the minister gave me the letter. That is what possibly in people's mind. Whereas if I had the letter from the minister or from the chief of staff, maybe, and we never exchanged those things. He would say, don't share that letter. I wouldn't have shared it, but I got it from the social media. I did not even have a chance, because I don't talk with the minister these things, to say, hey, did you issue this letter? No.
Well, Mr. Mogotsi, I'm going to move on from this topic, but before I do that, I just do need to put to you that your evidence that you had the letter in your possession from a public source, and I emphasize public, on the evening of the 1st of January is not plausible. It was not available from public sources on the evening of the 1st of January.
I got it from there. I got it from there, and that's it. There's no way I found it except the social media. And I'm saying even the owners of that letter, none of them says he got an email. From General Mkonazi and Masemola, they all say they saw it from the social media. All of them. No one owns up that I received the letter.
Yes, there are, I think, 5 named addressees of the letter on the email. Can I move to the last topic of the day, which hopefully won't take too long? And I want to address your 2 crime intelligence operations. You say that there were 2 operations, one to investigate Kat Matlala, who you suspected of corruption in securing the SAPS contract, and the second one was to infiltrate crime intelligence to expose corruption there.
Choose your price up front. Then ride.
Dad, I
It's content, bro. It's content, man. He's just like, oh, Lord. I mean, dude, he just wants fighting. He wants.
What is going on here?
Let me put this to you. Kat Matlala was a suspected criminal, is that not right? You suspected him of criminally securing the SAPS contract through corrupt means.
That's correct.
So it would be important to keep crime intelligence investigation material away from Mr. Matlala so that this suspected criminal wasn't given access to classified information from crime intelligence.
Mr. Matlala is not these amateur criminals. He belongs to this league of, like you say, he's close to generals. So me giving or not giving him information, he'll still have access to information.
Yes, but you wouldn't want to give him crime intelligence classified information.
That's correct. Except for if, like he has powerful media control. Unless if I want to publish something, I can give to him.
So if you want to leak something out into the press, you can get it that way through Mr. Matlala?
I could, not only him, but he's one of the people I could use.
Let me put something to you. Page 10 of your statement, paragraph 39. You say there that you got Mr. Matlala to pay for your handler to travel to Cape Town for the January 8 celebrations.
That's correct. That's correct.
He was one of the passengers who Mr. Matlala paid for.
That's correct.
Why? wasn't there a risk that you would expose your handler's details to Mr. Madlanga, who was the criminal you were investigating? I mean, you had to give him a copy of your handler's ID book to book the air ticket.
That was not in the mind. What was in the mind was to make sure that the co-handler and the partner are both in Cape Town.
Well, you did have to give details, including an ID number of your co-handler and an ID book to get the air tickets booked and paid for by Mr. Madlanga.
That's correct.
So Mr. Madlanga ended up with details of the identity of your handler, even if he didn't know that it was your handler.
That's correct.
You say it was important for your co-handler to come down to Cape Town.
True.
Why?
There was an operation to take place in Cape Town. Again, there were so many people involved. And lastly, if Cat could ever come to Cape Town, because the plan was to inform him in the last minute, if ever it could come to Cape Town, my co-handler should also be there.
You said earlier that it was clear that Madlanga was never going to meet the minister, who wasn't even in Cape Town, or Sibia, who you were going to offer him as a consolation prize. It was clear that that wasn't going to happen.
Yes.
So why did you need your handler there?
No, instruction of the handler, I can't say I don't need the handler. If they say you are going to Cape Town, no problem, but make sure you are with whoever and whoever. That's what must happen.
So did General Sibia know that your handler was in Cape Town? Did he authorize getting Cat Madlanga to pay for your handler's flight down to Cape Town, giving your handler's ID to Cat Madlanga?
General Sibia didn't know that the handler was in Cape Town. He didn't even have to know. An operation carried out in that form, we could not even inform him.
But General Sibia himself was in Cape Town.
He was in Cape Town.
You told Mr. Madlanga that, I think. An extra bundle. Sibia's in Camps Bay.
That's correct.
Was General Sibia in Camps Bay?
I knew he was going to stay in Camps Bay. He was not yet there. He was on duty.
Where did you stay in Cape Town?
I stayed in Sea Point. Then I moved to, the second day I moved to another hotel.
Did you ever plan to stay in Camps Bay yourself?
No, I did not have a place to stay in Camps Bay.
Can you go to page 79 of the bundle? January 6th, 10:55.
And that was 79.
79, indeed. There you text Mr. Madlanga, morning, is it still fine that we meet tomorrow? I'm off to Cape Town on Wednesday for January 8th. Also confirming the house in Camps Bay.
That's correct.
What were you referring to?
To his house in Camps Bay.
Whose house in Camps Bay?
Cat Madlanga's house.
He has a house in Camps Bay.
He said he has a house in Camps Bay.
And why did you need to confirm that?
Now that's another thing. It's work. You see, we know his house in Durban, both here in Gauteng. it was important to know, as we get closer to a person, I had to know his house in Camps Bay. And now that he didn't come, we never bothered. He also had to meet someone from, I kept, if you check on my messages, how I asked him about Camps Bay, it's almost the same way when I asked him about the iPad guy. I kept on reminding him, Camps Bay, because he said he was going to show us, there was going to be someone who's going to do all those things in Camps Bay.
Can I take you then to page 92?
How long will that be?
2-3 minutes, and then I'm off this topic. January 2025. So you text Mr. Matlala again. You're now down in Cape Town. My brother, thanks for everything. 2 people outstanding. Number 2, the contact person and the location of the accommodation in Camps Bay.
That's correct.
What are you asking for there?
The same house. He said he has a house, he has this and that, and we wanted to see that house as part of investigation.
And why would Mr. Matlala think that it was all right to give you the contact person and the location of the accommodation in Camps Bay? What did he think you were asking for?
Commissioners, maybe this should also be emphasized. If we saw the house and then we could even get people to sleep, I could sleep there. What was important is to know the house, to know he has the asset.
No, I understand that you say you wanted to identify the address and where it was.
Yes.
But what did Mr. Matlala think you were asking about?
The accommodation in Camps Bay, the house.
You wanted the accommodation for yourself, you said?
No, it says it's a holiday house, commissioners. It could host up to 8 to 10 people. But I could not say, I want to see your house. If the house is available for accommodation, you will say, I need to see that house. I want accommodation in that house.
So you were sending this text as though you were asking Mr. Matlala to use the accommodation in Camps Bay for yourself and guests, or what?
Entertainment. I could ask him the same, but he said he has a house there. And if you check the chats, he never responded when it comes to that house.
And did you ever establish the address of this house in Camps Bay?
Establish what, Commissioner?
The address of this house in Camps Bay that Mr. Matlala had?
No. We were expecting to get a location for that house.
And it never came?
Never came.
And did you ever establish the address of the house that the General Sabia stayed in Camps Bay?
No, I did not, because the General Sabia, I think he was, they booked somewhere in Camps Bay.
He booked somewhere in Camps Bay?
I believe so, because even there were a lot of premiers, a lot of people book in Camps Bay.
Yeah, indeed they do.
Yes.
We move, we level up. When the beat drops, we get up. Now mind, the goal is waiting. Go get it.
The broader issue of crime intelligence, but that can come another time.
Thank you, Mr. Chaskelson. We will adjourn at this stage, and the resumption of Mr. Mogotsi's testimony will be on a date to be arranged between the Chief Evidence Leader and Mr. Mogotsi's legal representatives. We will resume at 9:30 on Tuesday. Tuesday the what? Tuesday next week. That's adjourned.
Councillor Chair, I thought I'm coming back again on Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mogotsi.
Mr. Mogotsi thought that he was expected back on Tuesday, but it's been clarified that he's...
Your legal representatives will clarify to you, Mr. Mogotsi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Ke
you.
utlwile bathong. Ditlhako di botlhoko.
I want to see when are they coming back though.
Booked somewhere in Camps Bay.
He booked somewhere in Camps Bay.
I believe so, because even there were a lot of premiers, a lot of people booking Camps Bay.
Yeah, indeed, they do.
Yes.
They don't usually speak to Kat Matlala about their bookings, though. Commissioners, I have no further questions on this topic. I do want to go further in relation to the broader issue of crime intelligence, but that can come another time.
Thank you, Mr. Shaskelson. We will adjourn at this stage, and the resumption of Mr. Mogotsi's testimony will be on a date to be arranged between the Chief Evidence Leader and Mr. Mogotsi's legal representatives. We will resume at 9:30 on Tuesday. Tuesday the what? Tuesday next week. Let's adjourn.
Councillor Chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, that's what we have over there. I really don't know what you think about that. But anyway, let's just come back here because I want us to finish this one here. Where did it start? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do it from
the commission. He'll be able to show the commission the light as to up to where his investigation arrived.
To explain, he did not interfere, nor did we interfere. So we have heard your explanation. Do you get me?
I get you. But what I was about to say now, commissioners, is to add to what I was saying. To give probably, because it seems like this process there is something missing in this process.
Are you going to add something different to what you already explained fully yesterday?
No, given the background I'm going to explain a context that will bring a proper understanding to this.
So that you do not leave this room with a view that you are being suppressed. I'm using your verb. So perhaps let me give you an opportunity to give yet another explanation.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, when I came here to this commission, I never said I'm a high priest. I said I'm a state agent, and I have an instrument called the Legend Building,
Thank you for liking that. Thank you.
which allows me, in circumstances in executing my duties, to use what you call a false life. It's part of what I do. And the reason I requested to speak, Commissioner, it is because even the evidence leader, I was checking how it's like he's a prosecutor. He's not playing the role of evidence leader. Because I said I am an agent. In circumstances when in executing my duties, I have to lie. Now he come to the people, to the public, and say I'm a professional liar, knowing that I told him if I execute my duties, I do give a certain impression to reach or to get to the bottom of what the mission wants. Because even Madam Commissioner yesterday, she said, I'm bringing allegations, I'm talking about people, allegations that I make, I cannot provide proof. That is my job, commissioners. An agent is not a policeman who will obtain statements that can be presented here. I give intelligence information which must be converted into evidence which the commission wants. And how will that be converted, information be converted? It's when I bring people again who will corroborate what I'm saying to become the evidence that the commission wants. Example about yesterday, she said, are you accusing Brigadier Sebola? And I said, no. But I was going to say the handler is Colonel Koza, is working with Brigadier Johnson, and after the murder of that particular informant, Colonel Singh investigated the case. What does that mean? It means when he meets with the commission, he'll be able to show the commission the light as to up to where his investigation arrived. But the moment you say, you cannot say that, I'm not a policeman. I cannot even analyze what you call intelligence information. And I'm bringing raw information, but I'm not saying I cannot support or I cannot get anyone to come and corroborate. And last thing that I'm trying to say about Senior Counsel Charleson. Evidence leader, maybe I should read this. Please, Commissioner. Evidence leader present evidence in a formal process, such as in a disciplinary or commission of inquiry. Their role is to assist a committee or tribunal by organizing a leading evidence, which include preparing witness, interviewing them, presenting their evidence in a clear and structured way. Unlike a prosecutor, because now, even when he spoke about he gave us this thing to go and read, that me and the legal team should go through it. Now, he comes and talk about the Richards Bay terminal, and I was not prepared, of which I also have a story to tell, that the coal that comes from there goes straight to Israel. There was people protesting in Richards Bay.
Mr. Mogotsi, can you please try to confine yourself to the question of the oath and giving an explanation? Now you appear to be attacking the role of the evidence leader. I'm not quite sure how that relates to how you value or do not value an oath, and why, as you admit, you told a lie in your affidavit, which is annexed here as Exhibit CJC 44. Can you please, I'm giving you all the leeway to explain yourself with regard to the lie that you admittedly told. But please don't veer off to a whole lot of other issues.
Thank you, Commissioner. Then it means, Commissioners, we need to start at this particular point. Does the Commission believe and acknowledge that I'm an agent? If Commission
we cannot answer that. We are still to evaluate the evidence at some point. So we cannot say, yes, we believe you, Mr. Mogotsi. We cannot do that, not now.
Okay. The answer, Commissioner, to the question, because the Commission has not yet arrived at the conclusion if I'm an agent. Commissioners, yes, I lied in executing my duties. My conscience, when signing this affidavit, I took an oath in front of that particular police officer, that commissioner of oath, knowing that it's a lie, in executing my duties. That's correct, Commissioner.
I want to suggest to you, Mr. Mogotsi, and hopefully, and depending on the answer that you give, this is the last point I'm making at this stage. I want to suggest to you that an oath is meaningless to you, and I have no reason to believe that the one you took before us here means anything to you. Do you want to comment on that?
No comment, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Mogotsi.
Mr. Mogotsi, maybe just to complete this topic. Yesterday, you discussed with Mr. Chaskalson the judgment, the Northwest judgment, and you remember the conversation about, on the topic of agency, that in your affidavit you had said one thing, and then in your replying affidavit you were making corrections, saying where you referred to August, in fact you meant to refer to September. You remember that conversation?
That's correct, Commissioner.
And all of that is covered in paragraphs 9, 10, 11, and 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, in those paragraphs of the judgment. Now, you paid the attorneys in September, right? You remember that. If you go to page 2 of that bundle, just to remind.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your notes. It captures everything, from action items to key decisions. And after every call, you get a
Thank you. Patrice, thank you so much for being here.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Tanzania. Ini.
Was not yet out. Based on the information from the whistleblower, that's when we started to know. That's correct.
Okay. And you said you became aware of the appointment letter when? I think you say in paragraph 7 that, in paragraph 9, rather, of the judgment, they did nothing after, you were criticized for doing nothing after the letter on 11 August 23, and then in your correction you said the letter, you became aware of it in September.
That's when the letter came, tangibly, like being
So
available.
what were you paying the attorneys for?
I said there was information, and as I was speaking, if commissioners can remember yesterday,
yes,
I said the Khotle and this Brown Hood Foundation, they did the payment after we have requested assistance, and I further said because of the whistleblower who showed that the process, internal process, without the appointment letter, who confirmed that so-and-so has been appointed. He did that during the month of August. And with that information, whether the lawyers were paid or not, there was no way you could bring an agent application and the evidences. Now, it may be an issue of how lawyers are writing, and the commission should take into cognizance. Commissioners, I do not even have matric myself. And when you have a lawyer who prepares documents for you, you read, and as a layman, a lawyer may still not contextualize things in a understanding of this level. But what we know is the deposit was paid, and that whether approached or not approached, perhaps in front of the court, to approach the court means you must have full instructions. But by then there were no full instructions.
On a separate topic, you also discussed yesterday with Mr. Chaskalson.
This guy doesn't have matric, okay? Well, I can understand all of that. Okay, listen, guys. One thing that people don't understand, okay, is the fact that, you see, when you can't even read, when you can't even understand a statement, when you can't even understand a message, when you can't even understand a question, when you can't even understand anything, how do you become somebody important or occupying an important position as an agent for a country, for that matter? How is that possible? How is that possible? That is why we have this intelligence of South Africa. People say it's not there. It doesn't exist. Not it doesn't exist, but the people that are there, it's like they are not there. It's because of these things, guys. Huh? Now, I want you to listen to Mr. Khumalo, because Mr. Khumalo has been quiet for a whole time. And I'm definitely sure when he was sitting there, he was like, you see, I can believe everyone, but this guy, well, let me just listen to what he's going to say. But I don't think this guy, like, I don't know. Listen to what he is going to say, right? It doesn't make any sense, man. No wonder we've got a country like this, man. No wonder we've got people who can just come to the country winning nil. It's because of such things. Let's put people who are qualified to do these things, guys. Because if a person cannot read, it means they will send a message to him, okay? Maybe to execute a plan or to execute something for the country. They will misunderstand and they will do the opposite thing. Just because people, they don't understand. What is going on with South Africa? Man, you guys make us...
Mr. Matala was the...
Thank you for liking that. Thank you for the second like.
I think he was provided assistance in this court application.
That's correct.
You remember that?
That's correct.
And we know this court application was in 2023, so you met him before September 2024. You started interacting with him, with Mr. Matala.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
What was the nature of that relationship, such that he comes and advises you on litigation? What was the nature of your relationship?
As business people, commissioners, and he did not come. Remember, we were talking over the phone. And as business people, you can discuss anything. It doesn't require a particular relationship to talk about anything. If you are known, maybe in Durban, being a successful businessman, and you happen to meet, I don't think there is anything wrong if I should call the businessman in Durban and say, hey, we are having this situation, the local businesses or companies are crying, can't you help us? And that time, he only gave us ideas.
So he called you out of the blue
I called him.
You called him?
That's correct, Commissioner.
You knew him from where when you called him? I'm asking because until your evidence yesterday, I was under the impression that the first time you had anything to do with him from your evidence was September 2024. And yesterday you conceded that in October already, 2023, you had some dealings with him. So I'm trying to understand the nature of your relationship with him.
There was no any dealings. It's a person that I knew. And that's it. I did not even know. I was not even that much close to him, but I could talk to him. And the issue here was to get assistance on assisting those local business people.
What kind of assistance were you looking for? He's not a lawyer, at least I think. Mr. Matlala is not a lawyer, and you are preparing a court application. What assistance did you
I'm not a lawyer, Commissioner. But business people came to me requesting me to help them to go to court. It is not about being an attorney or a lawyer. When someone needs or ask or any kind of, when you engage, a person can hear, oh, this person can help me.
No, say, what is wrong with you? You don't need to be a lawyer to advise somebody about lawyer stuff. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? No wonder we're here, man. What is he talking about? That is why in China, if you didn't know, they are going to make their social media to say, if you talk about money, you must qualify to talk about money. If you are going to talk about legal things, you are going to be a person who is going to be qualifying, who is going to be a qualified person to talk about these things on social media. In other words, if you go to your YouTube and you try to make content about money, about this, you must be a professional. This guy is telling us that you can help a person. You don't need to be a lawyer for you to help people. What are you talking about? You are undermining people's profession. Yeah. Man, Mogotsi, man, you are disappointing us, man. What is wrong with
So
you guys?
no, what I'm asking is, you called Mr. Matala. I think that's what you've just said now.
That's correct.
And I'm saying, well, he's not a lawyer, so help us understand. Why did you call him, and what were you expecting from a non-lawyer will say to you about an application to court?
Commissioners, I called him, talking to him, and if you tell him of a scenario of what is happening in Mahike in that time, he will just give you some ideas what to do. It's not that you approach him knowing that he has legal background or something. Mare, it is a norm in most of the cases for any businessman to talk to big business people. Like, he's a big businessman. There's nothing wrong to talk to him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cheskalson.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Mogotsi.
Good morning, sir.
I've listened quietly and attentively to your testimony.
Very quiet.
There's a few things I need to clarify, and I need really short answers because I want to give Mr. Cheskalson his time back. So from 10 o'clock, I'm hoping that he will have his time back. Chair asked you about the oath and whether you consider it binding on your conscience. In the February 2025 affidavit, you give your residential address as Shawelo, Soweto. Have you ever lived in Shawelo, Soweto?
Correctly.
When?
2927 Ngumalo Street, Shawelo.
In?
Ngumalo Street, Shawelo.
When did you live there?
1990, in the 90s.
So
even this year, we held a funeral at home. It's a home.
In February 2025, you did not live in Shawelo, Soweto?
In 2025?
Yes, February 2025.
That's correct. But
So-
it's also my second home in Johannesburg.
Okay, I will leave it there.
Yeah.
In your affidavit, in your statement at paragraph 15, you say you were an Umkhonto weSizwe operative in 1993.
In the SDU.
Yes.
SDU was the organization in South Africa. I never went outside as Umkhonto.
Wait for my question. Were you ever an Umkhonto weSizwe operative?
Yes, in the SDU, that's correct. Umkhonto weSizwe had SDU, Self-Defense Unit.
Yes. Do you know that Umkhonto weSizwe was disbanded in 1993?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes. So, as a 13-year-old, you would have been an Umkhonto weSizwe operative in the SDU in 1993, as a 13-year-old?
No, I was not 13 years old. I know you, Commissioner, you are bringing it on the basis of my birthday era. I was not actually born in 1979. I was born in 1977.
So that's another lie in your affidavit
No.
when you said you were born in August 1979. That's
No,
another lie.
No, Commissioner, it's not a lie. Commissioner, my ID number, my date of birth in the Home Affairs, even my mother knows. I was born in 1977. It is just an era of 1979 from the Home Affairs. And from the Home Affairs, Commissioner, we have tried in so many ways to rectify that. But the moment, you cannot say, I was born in 1979, and then when someone wants your ID number, then you put 1977.
Mr. Mogotsi, it's your affidavit which you signed, and you say in that affidavit, I was born in August 1979.
That's correct, Commissioner. It is
So
me.
that is incorrect. You were not born in August 1979.
And I was born, it's not that it's incorrect. I'm saying due to the ID number, my ID number, is incorrect from the Home Affairs. From the Home Affairs. And I grew up like that. And actually, I was born in September 1977, 22 September, not August. But the era that came from the Home Affairs, there was no way I could reverse and change it.
Okay.
Let's do a very quick experiment, like in the air, right? You are a person who's supposed to go and do a testimony you are an agent. Obviously, according to you, you are sort of like creating an impression, or you are creating a character, if I may put it that way. And then you write an affidavit. You were born in this year, and then your ID says you were born in this year, right? You write your affidavit, and then you put you write your statement, your statement, and then you put a wrong year of you being born, right? And then after that, and then what you do is when you go in the commission and you testify, even when you are doing your statement, you don't even tell the person that is making you to make the statement to say, listen, this year it's a wrong year. So I've got a year in my ID which is wrong. In fact, I was born in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that when they write it on the statement, or you write it on the statement, at least you write the right date. He writes the false one. He puts it in the statement, the false year where he was born, and then he puts it there, a wrong one. And then when he comes to the commission to testify, then they are asking him, now my guy, what is wrong? And then he explains the IT thing. Nah, guys, I'm very sorry. Mogotsi has a problem. He has a problem. I don't know if agents actually they behave like this, and chances are maybe, just maybe, yes, they do, because they try to hide their identity. They don't want to be identified or anything. I understand all of that, but unfortunately, my guy, you were exposed already. You were exposed, and you are out there, and you are supposed to tell them when you get there, because already you are going to expose yourself that you are an agent. You tell them to say, at the time when I was writing the statement, I should have put it the right year, okay? Because now I'm exposed, so I can just say, because I was trying to protect my identity or anything like that. So my year is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but he doesn't do that. And then he comes to the commission. They will expose you, my guy, and you will look bad, even if you did it with good intentions. But I can promise you, it does happen, guys, that you've got an ID that says this, that says that. But in this case, I think he should have come forward and say, listen, the thing that is in the statement is wrong.
Let's move on from that.
Thank you.
Do you have any form of policing training? Formal policing training? No. Do you have any form of intelligence gathering training? Any formal training?
Clandestine training, yes. Formal, you mean with qualifications?
Yes.
No.
You don't have qualifications?
No. The training was different.
Do you have any form of qualification that involves forensic investigations? No. But now you want this commission to believe that in 2020, you were hired to investigate irregularities within crime intelligence.
Commissioner, that is a fact. An irregular, the task was given to me, and for the commission, more clarity. It was not the first time. I just could not put. It's not in the statement. It was not the first time I was tasked to do any mission or a job for the crime intelligence.
What qualifies you to conduct that investigation?
My basic training. I have basic training.
Which is what, Mr. Mogotsi? What is your basic training?
On counterintelligence, crime intelligence, and counterintelligence.
Where did you learn that?
We were more than a team of 10. Commissioners, when you get that training, even the pre-1994 arrangement, as you said, the ANC was disbanded in 1993. You will have a class. You will have a class. You will be sent to do certain things. You will have a class. You will be sent from one place to another place. You will be tasked, look at this car, look at these people from KZN, or look at whatever that was required. And after that, you will be tasked.
So that is counterintelligence training, to look at cars?
No, Commissioner. I don't, Commissioners, I took this opportunity last time, together with my lawyers, because now the questions we are posing, as far as I've said I'm an agent, I cannot deliberate more than that. I cannot go deeper and deeper into that on my side. We took Senior Counsel Churchillson to meet with my handler at the hospital. He explained to him when I was registered and what happened after deregistration. And it's not only him. I also did job with a mission between 2006 and 2008, proper one, with the former Divisional Commissioner General Bob Madlanga. As I was saying earlier here, to corroborate information into evidence, if one is allowed, I can bring those people.
Let me interrupt you, Ms. Mogotsi. I said short answers. I don't want you to go to 2008. I want to give Mr. Cheskalson his time back. Lastly, you said to Chair, you want this commission to believe that you are a contact agent. That's what you said in your response to the Chair. Do you accept that as we are sitting here today, you have not provided this commission with any supporting documents that confirm, wait for the question, you have not supported this commission with any supporting documents that confirm your version that you are conducting investigations as a contact agent? We have nothing in front of us. You say you were in Kenya. We don't have your flight tickets. We don't have the communication between you and the person in Kenya. You say you called him on your cell phone. You say you followed Ket Matala to Durban. We don't have your flight tickets. You did not take photos of this place you followed him to. So there's absolutely nothing before us that supports the version that you conducted any of these investigations that you are mentioning. Are you at least prepared to accept that before us as we are sitting here today, other than your statement and your say-so, there are no documents that support the version that you are a contact agent and you conducted these investigations? Yes or no?
The question is very unfair, Commissioner. To say I have nothing, as I just said to you, Commissioners, contact agent, you will never find any identity of a contact agent. You will never. In this whole room, I am a state agent. I'm a contact agent. You will never find a document written contact agent. And as I say, I took
Mr. Mogotsi,
Senior Counsel to the hospital.
Not a document that says contact agent. A document that shows that you conducted these investigations that you claim you were busy with.
No, Commissioners, Senior Counsel will have to answer on that. He met with my co-handler, and I believe they'll provide my file, because when you work, you report. You give your handler, and you report, you give him information, and all that information stays with your handler. There is no way that I can bring papers and give to you. And logically, unless you say, Commissioner, unless Commission has this belief that I just came here to come and impress people. I said, I did section 252A, it is with Ludi Snell. The Commission found it there. I recorded someone and this happened. Commission found it there. I said there is Boko Haram's thing within the crime intelligence. I didn't tell you where to go. I can tell you now that you must go to the analysis department. You will find that thing there. That's how a contact agent works. You cannot find anything written. But I thought because I saw here in this bundle, there is a letter from crime intelligence. I thought we will talk about it. I just don't want to go to it before we get there. I'll answer about that. I'll provide you answers. Okay, you will never get a paper, anything, unless you meet with my co-handler who will provide you with a file.
Mr. Mogotsi, if you're not going to answer the question I'm asking you, maybe let's leave that there. I want to give Mr. Cheskalson his time back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. In fairness to Mr. Mogotsi, I must confirm that we did interview in a hospital a man describing himself as Mr. Mogotsi's co-handler with the name that has been shown to you. And he did confirm that he had been running Mr. Mogotsi as an agent. We have certain questions we'd like to ask that man, but we're waiting for him to recover from his health condition.
Thank you for that, Mr. Shaskalson.
Mr. Mogotsi, I want to talk to
We've got a dilemma, guys, and a dilemma is the following, right? The dilemma is, in practicality, agents are supposed to be secrets. It's like secret agents. That means you will never know them. Sometimes they look like they are ordinary people. You won't even see them. You won't even know it's an agent, you know? And I don't know if, I don't know, guys. I don't know, okay? But unfortunately, this is where we have come to, okay? People, they must just accept that there is chai for them and it's done for them and everything, okay? But let's continue a bit. I think we will go to the parliamentary thing. I don't know.
today about your signal communications with the minister. And to begin with, I want to put to you the proposition that Signal is a more secure app than WhatsApp. Would you accept that?
It's not. Repeat the question,
That Signal is a more secure app, secure against against interception than WhatsApp.
It's correct.
And it's an app that is generally used for clandestine communications.
I don't know about that.
Well, you are an agent, are you not?
I know of Telegram.
Telegram.
That's what you are saying. Yes.
Do you use Telegram in your clandestine communications?
It is used, yes.
And I know it is used, but I'm asking, do you use it?
I sometimes use it, correct.
And do you have access to a Telegram account that you could share with the Commission?
Not at the moment.
Why is that?
It's a long time that I did not use it.
So you haven't used Telegram since when?
Depending on the mission for that particular.
Right. I think this is where we will end here. Let's go to Parliament. I'm going to Parliament. Right. Parliament. Ad hoc committee.
The risk has been identified in the through code system in a sense that you could buy this water with 50 rand. If the three codes come, one says 47, one says 48, and one says 51, you will check the cheapest of the three. However, if you consolidate the demands, you may find that in a arranged contract, you could pay the price that is close to what the shops are selling, or slightly lesser or slightly higher, depending on the logistics that are involved. The costs is determined, and the transportation is also included in that pricing. So that decision to have centralized contract is to consolidate the demands and making sure that there's value for money, like National Treasury is doing with regards to the transversal contract, deriving value for money for government, and also making sure that there are not multiple entries and multiple things that needs to happen, which could render us into more irregular expenditure when the accounting officer come and audit. What we need to be doing is to look at whether the delegations in terms of drawing from these contracts has been duly done, and that the people have the authority to do what they're supposed to do. The challenge that we've got is that of financial authorities and availability of funds, and we are looking into that from a financial perspective. But decentralizing everything could put us in a much more severe and dire situation than we are in right now. We would have multiple people doing procurement, which could be to the detriment of the organization.
But can you say that you are being blamed for not responding on time to crime because of that?
Maybe, Honorable Chair, I need to come in here and explain what we're doing as procurement in the organization. Only the head office does the tenders. The procurement out of the transversal contracts, we're using mainly the transversal contracts from National Treasury, is done by the procurement in the provinces. The provinces have got a procurement structure. And that procurement structure is the one that has to respond to the needs of the procurement and not my office. We have decentralized that function. It is there in the delegation of authority. The delays that are happening in that space are not necessarily delays from my office. The provinces have got duly authorized delegated responsibilities in the procurement value chain.
Okay. As this committee, we have received a testimony that there is a culture of fear where officials cannot say no to the executive. They influence, they have an influence on procurement. Have you ever been faced with that or influenced directly or indirectly?
I have never, in the 33 years of me being employed and a tax-paying citizen in this country, been approached by any of my principals or any other person to influence the procurement process and have corruption created. The answer is no.
Do you want to tell me that you have never been influenced to say that, take this company?
No, never.
Then on the issue of Medicare?
Never.
It went normal.
I saw Medicare submission at the BAC. Prior to that, I had no knowledge that who has bid it and who has tendered for this process. No, I have not.
Your role requires a great level of independence and transparency. Would you say that you are able to exercise independence in the execution of your duties? Can you say that?
I am totally independent. I have indicated, Honorable Chair, that the only leg of the procurement process where my involvement is not there is the evaluation process. Any other level, I independently exercise my responsibilities when presented with the information. I have also indicated, Honorable Chair, that upon my return, we would have to consider, I would have to have a conversation with the National Commissioner to withdraw me from the bid adjudication so that I can have a full grip of the procurement process right up to the submission of the tender to BAC, for that BAC to then evaluate and make sure that, and then I can be held accountable for anything that happens in the bid evaluation committee, because I would have reviewed everything and made sure that everything is done. At this current moment, with the authority given to me, I cannot be in the adjudication and be in the evaluation at the same time. It will be contradictory and it will amount to no segregation of duties.
Even a single member of the BAC has never influenced you for a particular tender?
I do ask, when you listen to the recording, you will take note that I do ask at the beginning of each BAC that anybody must declare anything or give any conflict. No member has, and I would then, if there was a member that has tried to influence me, I will declare in that committee, because it is required of me to declare.
The negative widespread that says perception, that says supply chain in subs, it has been captured by top cops. Do you agree with that?
I'm not sure which top cops. I am responsible for procurement. I am not aware of that.
National Commissioner?
National Commissioner, in his personal capacity.
Deputy?
No one in subs has approached me. I cannot vouch as to whether they have approached other people. But in as far as I'm concerned, National Commissioner has never asked me to do him procurement favors.
We're not going to get a report that you are influenced by the Deputy National Commissioner on this Matlala tender. We're not going to get that report.
You will not get that report because nothing of that nature happened.
If we get it, you'll resign. You will resign immediately if we get that.
You will not get that report because it never happened.
Okay. On AG's findings, SAP's AG findings for 2025-2026 financial year reflects on that irregular expenditure has increased by 140%, reaching to 740 million. And the findings, they point to the weaknesses in the bid evaluation committee, who lack requisite skills and training and fail to exercise the due diligence when evaluating bids. Do you agree with that first?
Correct.
Okay. With regard to the Medicare 24 tender award, according to your knowledge, did the supplier certify all requirements in the evaluation criteria when the tender was awarded?
According to my knowledge, in as far as the report that was tabled at BAC, Honorable Chair, yes, they met the requirements.
Why are you sitting with the bid evaluation committee that doesn't have skills, required skills? What have you done in addressing that? Because you are saying that you agree with AG, then what have you done?
The bid evaluation committees, we do not have a standing bid evaluation committee in the process. Each tender has a bid evaluation committee put together to evaluate that tender. We always request the end users that are technically knowledgeable to put the spec and evaluate on that spec to come together. The issues of suppliers that are put forward, we are having a challenge with regards to that. And yet, hence I am saying, and I've said earlier on, that we need a technology that will assist us. And we also are looking forward, we have put processes in place for professionalization of our people. We have already contacted National Treasury to make sure that National Treasury come and train all the possible bid evaluation committees in South African Police Service. They've referred us to National School of Government, and we have contacted them with that regards. We are serious about making sure that all this historical irregular expenditure, that did not happen in 1 year, it's historical, and we are in the position of clarifying and making sure that we have knowledgeable people that would be able to do that. Should this persist, then we would look at what then makes the irregularities that come at that time. But we have already engaged National Treasury to ensure that we check up. Not only National Treasury, we called in the bodies that govern procurement, such as SIPS and SAPICS, to come and speak to everybody in procurement from Colonel upwards, to help them understand what the importance of ensuring that we've got sound governance and sound processes are, and what is it that they can assist us with making sure that our knowledge gap with as procurement is jacked up. Procurement is not a static environment, it's fluid, and it is required that we have knowledgeable people in that space. I have already arranged that. They came and they did that. I have also solicited the work of the risk and compliance team to come and explain to us what are the things that we need to do in making sure that we identify the risks, specifically for people that are at various levels. And they did come, and that process we embarked upon in August. We have redefined our risks, and we are with that. Thank you, Chair.
Dr. Fani, may you please stop speaking.
Chairperson, you have started.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
The time has expired. You must look at me, Doctor. I allocate 20 minutes per speaker. When 20 minutes expires, you stop speaking. Honorable members, it's 3 hours now from 2 o'clock. So we are going to break for 15 minutes. We will come back at 5 minutes past 5. Advocate Zikalal, I wanted to use the word "getuigskrif," which is a testimonial. I mistakenly used the word kennisgewing, which is a notification. The appropriate word is getuigskrif. It's a testimonial. So, I get verbeter, meneer. Can we request the Chief Whip to instruct members to leave the House and come back at 5 minutes past 5? You want me to write to a letter, Chief Whip, and request you to instruct the members?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, and I appreciate it. You have a good day out there. Thank you for likes. Thank you for everything. Thank you for staying with me and watching, coming in and out, and doing what you gotta do. And I understand all of that, okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes. Next time when you come to my live, please like the live. You can even share if you want. You can gift if you want to gift. You can do whatever. Okay, I really would appreciate all of that, guys. Okay, I think we're done over here. I will see you next time. I think tomorrow, tomorrow, I don't know, we will do the parliamentary, and when it starts, I think we will start with it. But hey, I don't know, because this guy who's testifying here is too formal for me. I don't like those things, you know. But anyway, thank you, guys. I will see you next time. You have a fantastic day. We're done.